place in microwave. What is microwave? I don't think we have any of that. Harry, do we have any microwave?
Are you fucking dumb?
It's a microwave, silly.
Don't talk to me like that, you bitch! I'm a fucking duchess! Shake that! Damn! Harry, get your limey ginger ass down here and clear this up!
The 60 Minutes interview was a great chance to hear Harry and Meghan's story, in case you missed their 2-hour sit-down with Oprah or their 6-part Netflix documentary.
Meg does her little phony like, I'm so busy. I have the show, the podcast, I'm a duchess.
So busy?
It was so fake. I was like, oh.
Legal threats hit Spitting Image hard enough that their Meghan Markle content started vanishing from YouTube without explanation. And the timing wasn't coincidental given the lawsuit they were facing for what amounted to satirical puppet sketches posted online.
Today, we bow our heads in memory of the fallen.
More episodes have been removed.
The pressure backfired spectacularly, because instead of backing down, the show doubled its efforts and produced what became the most savage takedown in puppet satire history, targeting not just surface-level jokes but systematically dismantling Meghan's carefully constructed Netflix empire, her performative activism, and the entire Montecito lifestyle she'd been selling to the public. Pearl was marketed as authentic lifestyle programming with heart and substance. But what Spitting Image did was strip away every layer of that branding to reveal the manufactured emptiness underneath, and they did it so thoroughly that the parody became more memorable than the actual content.
I'm Megan Sussex, and I'm a good person. And I'm meeting another good person today, the wonderful Ariana Grande.
Oh my God, Megan, you're such a good person.
Yes, that's why I'm going to talk to you like you're an idiot.
Every interaction in the parody dripped with condescension dressed up as warmth, which captured exactly what viewers sensed but couldn't articulate about her on-screen presence. And when they attacked the actual recipes, turning her soul food into a literal bag of potato chips that she struggled to open, the metaphor wrote itself.
I'm preparing my guests some soul food that my British husband calls a packet of crisps. Can be a tricky dish to master, especially when a packet is being a fucking bitch. Oh my God, you've been knocked down by the crisps. So vulnerable. I love it.
I'm just down here holding space.
And now, the finishing touches. A flower.
The entire business model got exposed in 30 seconds of puppet comedy, because that's exactly what the show does. Taking mundane tasks anyone could do and rebranding them as premium content through nothing more than aesthetic presentation and a flower placed strategically for the camera, which became the running joke that wouldn't die.
There. Like and subscribe to learn how to breathe, how as a finishing touch sticking flowers on anything means you made it with love, and I share the secret to a happy marriage. Fuck's sake, H! Don't make me get the electric collar out!
Sorry, love. I think my arm's gone dead.
Monetizing basic human functions like breathing while pretending it's revolutionary content proved too absurd to need commentary. But the real devastation came when they tackled her self-perception, the gap between how she presents herself and what everyone else sees.
Hold it steady, you ginger pots! Hello, followers. You know little old me is a high-profile, high-success, global brand-creating, vulnerable, and humble business leader. Which means I no longer have time for my lifestyle show, which was such a hit that I'm now in talks with Netflix to pivot to 6 seasons of no more episodes. I've decided my time is better spent doing less, and so I'll be coming on here to patronize you through your phone.
No. Wait.
Her Netflix show is bleeding money.
Netflix was hemorrhaging money on content that nobody watched, which should have triggered immediate cancellations. But what made the satire so effective was how it connected the financial failure to the psychology driving it. The performative vulnerability covering up desperate control issues, the branded humility that fooled nobody, and the increasingly obvious fact that chaos ruled behind every carefully staged shot.
Show me the money!
I have! There is no more money!
I know what you're thinking. Did Netflix cancel 6 series or only 5? You gotta ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya? Punk?
Yeah, So lucky, very grateful. I'm batting well above my average. Please stop pointing the gun at me.
Everything rides on Netflix because without that platform, her entire reinvention collapses, which explains the frantic push for more content and more visibility at a time when the lifestyle empire she envisioned keeps failing to materialize. And the cruelest irony is that leaving Suits for what she thought would be global stardom through royal marriage actually destroyed her acting career completely. Leaving her trapped in a genre Hollywood stopped caring about years ago, while the pressure to succeed intensifies daily.
He's not the Messiah! He's a very naughty boy!
You're so funny, Megs.
What do you mean I'm funny? I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown? I amuse you? I make you laugh? I'm here to fucking amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Oh, you nearly had me there, Megs. Great bants.
No! I'm serious, H!
Her inability to accept any form of criticism shows up in every interview and press interaction. The way she systematically cuts off anyone who questions her narrative. And Harry became the primary casualty of that dynamic, because he escaped palace control only to find himself under management by someone with zero tolerance for being challenged and none of the palace's institutional experience to soften the approach.
Okay, Megs, go.
Megan Sussex, reading for Jaws. We're going to need a bigger house. What I do have is a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills like, just give me a sec.
Writing stuff on bananas?
I swear to God, Harry, ruin my take again and I will end you!
Suits was the peak and the ending of her acting career simultaneously, because major casting directors stopped returning calls the moment she walked away from the show, which forced the pivot to lifestyle content as a backup plan that's now failing for the same reason Hollywood rejected her in the first place. The calculation shows through every frame and audiences can smell the inauthenticity from miles away.
Talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking to? Are you talking to me? Not without securing an exclusive deal with my publicist, you freeloading fucking ass.
Relevance becomes a daily battle when the industry shuts you out, and self-created content represents the last option for staying visible. But that safety net is disintegrating as Netflix deal renewals look increasingly unlikely, and the question nobody wants to answer is what comes after the streaming platform finally walks away.
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. But not too far.
California offered proximity to Oprah, the Kardashians, and entertainment industry power brokers, which was the actual draw despite all the privacy complaints. And the contradiction became obvious when friendly press kept receiving exclusive leaks, because what they actually wanted was never privacy, but complete control over how their story got told.
The best thing is, no more following Granny's rules. Don't wear your pants on your head, Harry. Don't barf on the butler.
Freedom from royal protocol was the promise Harry chased when he left. But what he actually got was a different rulebook with Meghan writing every page, which meant trading centuries-old institutional constraints for personal ones with no exit strategy.
If I want to play polo in my living room, who's gonna stop me?
Stop that!
Right away, Megs.
His freedom turned out to be fictional because the instructions never stopped coming. The behavioral expectations stayed rigid, and the only thing that changed was whether he was performing for palace photographers or Netflix cameras. And once Spitting Image demonstrated that Meghan and Harry were fair game for mockery, every comedian who'd been holding back suddenly felt permission to pile on, starting with Jimmy Fallon targeting her strangest lifestyle quirk.
What is the number one question that mystifies scientists?
Is there life on another planet?
Oh no. Why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
It's another bag.
And that confuses people.
This, we're just gonna put into a different bag.
Repackaging store-bought pretzels into artisanal bags represented everything people hated about wealthy detachment from reality, and the internet's response was immediate, with influencers launching wave after wave of parody content that turned her Netflix show into the punchline for an entire genre of out-of-touch.
Take the snack out of one bag and then move them into another bag and then label this new bag, even though this bag already has a label.
Rich person satire. Water preparation became the next target because apparently tap water couldn't meet the standards for her guests. which required a full ritual complete with flower petals floating on the surface, as if hydration needed that level of theatrical presentation.
How I prepare water for my guests. Some water that I got from the spring in my backyard. Whatever you do, don't use tap water. I'm just gonna sneak a taste. You flower petal. H is always calling water water, and there you have it.
Flower arranging got repackaged as storytelling, because every mundane activity needed narrative weight attached to it. Despite the fact that nobody watching actually cared about the metaphorical journey of arranging.
Any type of flower arranging is just telling a story. What story do you want to tell? Maybe leave the country. Maybe disown your dad. Be creative with it.
Stems in a vase. Millions of followers watched as established content creators systematically turned Meghan into the definitive symbol of disconnected, wealthy narcissism. But those creators were playing gentle compared to what came next, when late-night hosts and British comedians stopped joking and started dismantling, beginning with Kimmel tearing apart Harry's record-breaking memoir that sold primarily to an older demographic while younger audiences completely ignored it.
Flying shit.
Prince Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest-selling non-fiction book of all time. The story of Prince Harold and his frozen yogurt slinger is so popular, they're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince and the Penis, and it's...
National television reduced Harry's carefully crafted life story to comedy material within days of publication, which is the inevitable result of oversharing intimate details in a tell-all memoir, and Kimmel proved he wasn't stopping at surface-level jokes about frostbitten anatomy when he went after the core justification for their entire exit.
Memoir.
Harry said racism was a big part of their decision to leave, which you know things were bad at Buckingham Palace if they came to America to get away from racism.
Racism accusations against the royal family became the narrative foundation for everything that followed, the universal excuse that justified every burned bridge and controversial decision. But Kimmel exposed the logical flaw by pointing out that fleeing to America for racial tolerance makes zero sense given the country's well-documented history. And once he opened that door, British comedians walked through it without hesitation.
I said Meghan Markle is, of course, a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
Years of UN speeches and empowerment messaging established Meghan's feminist credentials before she married into royalty and immediately stopped working, creating a contradiction so obvious that Hollywood refused to acknowledge it publicly until Carr said what everyone was thinking.
Problem with it.
The royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashian. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he f***ed up.
The Nazi costume incident refuses to disappear because Harry never gave it the serious reckoning it demanded. And now that he's positioned himself as a social justice advocate, the credibility gap between his past actions and current messaging has become impossible to ignore.
My brother's fiancée, Miss Meghan Markle, is on the American program Suits.
Yes, Wednesdays, 8 p.m, USA Network.
The only difference between that show and this is people watch this one.
SNL went after Suits, the show that made Meghan semi-famous.
What are you doing? Ow! Stop it! Yeah. Stop it!
This is family.
Saturday Night Live targeted the show that supposedly launched Meghan's career, making explicit what industry insiders already knew: that she was a working actress on a cable drama with modest viewership, not the star she retroactively became in public perception after marrying Harry.
Whenever the kids are being fussy and not going to bed, she puts on an episode of Suits and they're out. So.
Comparing someone's professional work to children's melatonin is the type of insult that becomes permanent cultural shorthand, and by this point, every major comedy platform had reached the same conclusion about their Netflix venture. But British comedians kept pushing because some of them abandoned humor entirely in favor of calling out what they saw as fundamental dishonesty, with Godfrey targeting the central claim of their entire victim narrative.
She's like, I can't believe they were racist. Wait, the whitest family on the planet, the original motherfuckers.
Marrying into a family whose entire identity revolves around bloodline purity going back centuries, and then expressing shock at racial curiosity represented either profound naivety or strategic victimhood, because nobody could realistically expect that particular institution to treat race as an invisible non-issue.
I wanted to know what color the kid would be. I did too. I was like, he's gonna be super, super light-skinned? What black will we see? We all wanted to know.
Human curiosity about a biracial baby's appearance is universal, not evidence of systemic racism. But that natural question got weaponized into oppression, because it fit the victim narrative that justified everything else. and Godfrey made clear he wasn't finished dismantling the performance.
Does her little phony like, I'm so busy just doing like so much wealthy stuff. I have the show, the podcast, I'm a duchess, I have all this wealth. It's just so many busy things as a wealthy person.
So busy?
It was so fake. I was like, oh.
Every piece of content reads as calculated performance, from the performative busyness to the podcast with negligible audience to the continued use of a royal title while simultaneously attacking the institution that granted it. And the contradiction became impossible to miss, as she maintained relevance exclusively through the royal connection she claimed to want freedom from, which is when Simon Brodkin decided to contribute his perspective.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
The Netflix documentary was supposed to make people understand their side.
Netflix invested in a documentary designed to generate sympathy by presenting their unfiltered perspective, but the project backfired completely, because viewers who started neutral finished actively hostile, which represents a unique achievement in failed public relations.
They started off and they're making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H&M, and I just thought, oh, do f*** off.
They had real issues to discuss.
Legitimate grievances about racism and media harassment got suffocated under layers of performative relationship content and branded couple nicknames that made viewers actively reject the serious issues they were trying to address. With the H&M branding becoming the moment, people tuned out completely.
They were complaining that to pay for their own security. They were not happy about that. Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack.
Dedicating 6 episodes to wealthy people upset about funding their own security detail revealed a stunning absence of self-awareness about how normal people live. The kind of tone-deaf complaining that turned sympathy into contempt, which is when Kelly Osbourne decided subtlety was overrated.
I think Harry's a twat. He's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
Harry's not special for having mental health.
Mental health challenges are universal human experiences, not unique royal traumas. But Harry positioned his struggles as historically exceptional despite his privileged circumstances, creating a victim complex that exhausted even sympathetic observers.
My life was so hard. Everybody's life is hard.
Yeah,
you were
true.
the prince of
That's
a
true.
goddamn country who dressed up as a Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope? Suck it.
Rebranding from Nazi costume wearer to humanitarian spokesman requires genuine accountability that Harry never provided, leaving the hypocrisy exposed for everyone to see. And the implications for their Netflix future became clear when Spitting Image faced legal pressure that made their content disappear. Because attempting to silence satire through legal threats is an admission of defeat that makes everything worse. Their brand credibility collapsed. The comedy establishment declared them permanent targets. And the strategy of controlling criticism through pressure campaigns backfired by proving every criticism correct, while giving other comedians permission to pile on without consequence, creating a death spiral where each attempt to manage their image accelerates its destruction.